the former governor of Wisconsin and the founder of Earth Day, once said in 1969, the ultimate test of a man's conscience is his willingness to make sacrifices today for the thanks that would not be heard in his generation. In this speech, I will be talking about Scott Pruitt, as many of you don't know who he is. Listening to this speech will help you be better informed about one of the most underfunded agencies that help our environment so that you and your future generations can live on a sustainable planet. This is broken down into 3 parts. The first, I'll be talking about Pruitt's qualifications. Second, I'll be talking about what the EPA is. And third, I'll be talking about how he's going to affect it. So let's begin with Scott Pruitt. Scott Pruitt had an early political career in the Senate. He ran for the U.S. Senator of Oklahoma in 1998 and won. With his success, he decided to move on to a bigger thing, which was to run for governor, which he lost in 2001 to the former governor's wife. Then again, he decided to run for lieutenant governor, but lost again in 2006. So dealing with all his losses, he decided to move on to a different department, which is the Attorney General. He ran for Attorney General in 2010 and won against Ryan Leonard and ran again in 2014 unopposed. And this is probably where his problems with the EPA started. Immediately after taking office, he dissolved the EPA unit, and the attorneys working under it, he moved them to deal with People's Protections and General Solicitors units. After that, he then sued the EPA for their Clean Waters Act and Air of America policy. After that too, he also sued them for their strict regulations on coal firing plants and openly criticized them in a congressional hearing. Even with all of this in his background, in 2017, January, he would have sued the EPA 13 times, which all have ultimately failed in the court. As saying, with all his background, in 2016, President-elect Donald Trump decided to nominate him for the new administrator of the EPA. Now, speaking of the EPA, let's begin with what it is. All of you have an idea of what the EPA is, but not all of you are sure what it is. The EPA stands for the Environmental Protection Agency. Now, here's a brief history. In 1960, Congress was becoming more aware of a public concern that was dealing with human activity and their impact against the environment. So the National Environmental Policy Act was created in 1969, in which William Ruckless became the first administrator. Now, their main goal is to protect and maintain the environment for future generations. And in doing this, their main aim is to control and diminish air, water, and noise pollution, also dealing with pollutions that deal with toxins, radiation, and other pesticides. They have strict federal laws that are enforced and also have clear scientific values to them, so they're not without meaning. They help maintain our community and ecosystems diverse, economically productive, and also sustainable. They have clear leadership roles with other nations to help the world in a global environment. So now that you guys know what the EPA is and how it works, we can talk about how Scott Pruitt is going to affect it. Scott Pruitt already plans to roll back on EPA's top and main priority, its climate change policy, because he feels that it's not that important in our current events. He also plans to rewrite and weaken Obama's old EPA rules that have to do with Clean Waters Act and the Air of America, which he had ultimately sued before. He also helped shape Trump's administration budget, in which he asked Congress to shrink in parts of the agency to give funding to other departments because he feels that their projects are of higher value. And he also plans to change the way the system works. And by saying, when he was Attorney General, he had created a federalism unit in his department to deal with unwanted systematics. So he plans to put that into effect onto the EPA system because he feels that they're becoming too liberal and extreme activism going on. So that's how he plans to deal with all of this. So now, in conclusion, dealing with Scott Pruitt, you guys now know who he is and you are all better informed by him. In this speech, I talked about his qualifications, what the EPA is, and how he plans to affect it. And I hope that we will all make the necessary sacrifices that way future generations can live in a peaceful and sustainable planet. Thank you.